understand how heavy the burden of duty can be. Would you hear my request? I thank you.
Mayhap his maundering will...
I thank you. Would you accept this humble reward?
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. For some time now, 'twas said that the false sovereign was recovering from his battle wounds. But as I hear it, he is now well enough to walk unaided. And so, in honor of his supposed valor, they have been holding masquerade in the palace of late. The false sovereign's identity is still beyond our ken. Even the matter from where he hails remains a mystery. But mayhap approaching the false sovereign at one of these gatherings could afford you a glimpse into the man behind the mask. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? My thanks. Some of the sentries posted at the masquerades are under my command. I shall have them ease security, so pray, slip into the venue through whatever opening presents itself. Once your infiltration is successful, you will need only don a mask and act the part of an invitee. Few will think to be wary if they believe you a fellow masquerader. Here, this should suffice to help you blend in. Take care, Your Majesty. Ah, there is one other thing. Masquerades being as they are, you will require suitable raiment. Much is made of appearances at such gatherings, and 'twould be wisest to dress the part when joining the other revelers.
I must ask you to comport yourself with the utmost civility while you are within the masquerade hall.
You're far from your station, are you not?
I do hope our sovereign's enjoying himself.
I only pray my watch finishes without incident.
Have you heard? There's to be more restrictions on goods traded with Batal. Apparently, even privately owned items will come to be curtailed soon.
How dreadful! I've some servants ferrying things over from Batal. Mayhap I ought to hasten them along.
Our first sovereign in decades. At last, we will see the end of the age of proxies. Indeed, the Arisen has always been the mainstay of Vermund. Only they are capable of repelling the dragon and guiding us toward a brighter future. Not so for the Queen Regent and her son. Fair weather rulers, the both of them. Should war e'er erupt.
Silence! Do you want the sentries to hear you?
You are right, of course. I shall hold my tongue.
This is a time of celebration. Once the Sovereign is fighting fit and returned to us, the peace of our kingdom will be aught but assured.
So, tell me more of this ox cart.
As I hear it, it turned from the high road only to vanish. 'Twas carrying some few dozen pawns at the time as well.
Strange tale indeed. Yet fawns are oft called nomads. They are transient creatures by nature. They are wont to vanish on occasion, are they not?
True, but pawns are not the only ones who employ ox carts. I cannot help but worry that this business does not bode well for any of us.
Another fancy party hosted by the Arisen. You'd think he's feeling plenty merry by now.
Best mind that tongue afore you lose it.
Listen, I've seen my fair share of noble Arisen. Wastrels and curs, the lot of them.
This one's the genuine article. Surely you've heard tell of how he repelled the dragon in Melv.
Aye, and he's got grievous burns to show for it. I expect that's why he's been up listening to fancy songs and watching dresses twirl for our moon, eh? Makes a man wonder when our true ruler's gonna rise up and deliver us salvation.
Enough of that. Such things are not for common soldiers to question.
It would seem our sovereign has recovered enough to walk. Word reached my ear that he would be attending, though I've yet to espy him.
No doubt he must first meet with the Queen Regent. Though mayhap he wishes not to show his face for aught, burned as it doubtless is, he has only just recovered from his glorious defeat of that dragon.
Why, you're... No, pay me no mind. We who are gathered here are naught but nameless nobles. 'Twould be uncouth to inquire after another's identity.
Well now, you're...
What is it? Has something happened?
We have it on good authority that a suspicious individual passed through here.
We need to scour the area. Well, scour will be right.
In here.
Open up!
You're dressed rather austerely for a patron.
My humblest apologies, Lady Wilhelmina. We've had reports of an unseemly character in the vicinity, you see, and...
Preposterous. I was out front till but a moment ago, and I did not see so much as a shadow.
Be that as it may.
You are excused. Leave this place, ere you invite our noble host's wrath upon yourself. I will summon you if aught is amiss.
Pray forgive the intrusion.
And what business have you here? In the nobles' playground? Hmm? You've the face of someone in search of a juicy morsel. Would you be looking for this, perchance?
Come on, then. Keep pouring. Do you take me for some green lad who can't handle his cups? I'm your damned king, and a king deserves royal treatment.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Tell us, Your Majesty, would you prefer more drink, or shall we find some other way to amuse ourselves?
Aye, aye. Let's change things up.
I believe I cautioned you to keep your drunken revelry in check. Lest you forget, these celebrations of your valor are but a pretense for more serious matters.
I know. I do. It's just I get the poison in me and things happen is all.
You need only serve as our false king until Sven becomes consul. Till then, however, you would do well to remember that your role demands a certain degree of dignity. I trust you understand your position, Your Majesty.
Nay, I mean I. As you say, I'll go and sober up.
Why not remove yours as well? This is not the masquerade hall, and we now find ourselves quite alone. What say we dispense with such pretenses and speak openly with one another, Lord Phasus?
That will do. If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that rolls. What is your purpose here, I wonder? If you came to learn of the Sovereign, then 'tis as you have seen. The man is naught but a ale-swilling pretender propped up by the Queen Regent. Of course, that begs the question. If he's a mere mummer, then where might our true Arisen be? You'd best go. I'll do what I can to help you make your escape. As you can see, I run an establishment that caters to certain pleasures. You're welcome to come and play anytime, if you escape with your life, that is. Know, however, that our services do not come cheap. Come see me in my bordlery, whene'er you're so inclined. I'll instruct my attendants to send you straight to me.
You run!
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. Well, well. He is merely Disa's puppet, then. 'Tis likely that he knows naught of her schemes. Even were he to be removed, I suspect some other would simply be made to take his place. But if there's aught that compels my attention, 'tis this other man you mention. Phases, was it? He seems a man of import, and yet I have never heard of him. Pray, allow me to investigate this matter further. You've done well, Your Majesty. Thank you.
So the false sovereign, Queen Regent Disa, and this Phases fellow are all working together. Quite the sordid trio, eh?
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. You will need to infiltrate the palace to gather evidence of Disa's misdeeds. I hesitate to ask something so dangerous of you, yet I fear we have few other options. I have attempted to do the same through my own channels afore now, though I have yet to uncover so much as a whisper of her plots. Would that I could undertake the task myself, but my station prohibits me from reckless action. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? I shall ensure that the door to the Queen Regent's office is open between midnight and dawn. Pray use that time to conduct your investigation.
Who's there? Pray, keep your voice low. 'Twouldn't be good for either of us if someone was summoned to come check on me. Could it be that you have come to bring Mother's schemes to light? Aye, Disa is my mother. Pray forgive me for not telling you sooner. 'Twas never my intent to deceive you. I'd simply feared that if I spoke the truth, none would wish to involve themselves with me. But that is no longer a concern. 'Tis clear that we are allied in purpose. My word, you mean to say that you are the true Arisen? That the Sovereign currently residing in the palace is a pretender? Could Mother have had a hand in that as well?
Regent Kin Sven appears to be missing from his chambers. Have you seen him?
Me? No, sir.
Then start searching, you fool. Should aught befall the Regent Kin, 'tis us who'll answer to her grace.
Forgive me. My absence seems to have made this rather more difficult for us. You ought leave the palace at once. This room turned up little of interest, but I've a mind to look into this further. I shall send word to Captain Brandt if I discover aught you should know. I'll head out first and speak with the Sentinels. Use that opportunity to make good your escape.
Sven, where have you been?
Forgive me. I couldn't sleep. I thought a stroll might clear my head.
Prithee, inform us when you leave the chambers. If aught were to happen to you.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. How fared your mission? Was there aught suspicious to be found in the Queen Regent's office? This scrap. 'Twas part of a letter, and from Batal no less. This alone can prove little, but 'tis clear that Deeza's schemes run deep. To think, Deeza's actions have weighed even on the mind of her own son. 'Tis a surprise, but a welcome one. Deeza is the doting mother before the Regent King. If Regent King Sven is willing to aid us by drawing Deeza's focus, we may be able to gain more useful information. You have done well, Your Majesty. Though I am limited in the aid I am able to offer, I bid you, take this.
It seems we were right to suspect the Queen Regent. We ought to keep an eye on her in the days to come.
That's odd.
Phasus. Now there's a name to remember.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. I bear word from Regent Ken Sven, Your Majesty. He espied the delivery of a suspicious package to a man named Allard, a minister who happens to be one of the Queen Regent's staunchest and most powerful allies in the palace. From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. We must get to the bottom of it. The Regent Kin intends to call Allard to his chambers come nightfall. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be learned. What say you, Your Majesty? Are you willing to undertake this task? I shall ensure that the door to the minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn. Pray, use that time to infiltrate and uncover aught worthy of suspicion.
You are the Arisen, yes? The captain gave me your description. Follow me! 'Tis best you move along. Should one of the other guards espy you, I will be forced to play my part. Pray, be cautious, Your Majesty.
Have you heard the news? The new recruits are to be sent out to Melv. Melv, I say! I'm not sure who gave the orders, but I'd like to know what they were thinking. Just beyond my ken, I'll say that much.
As it should be. 'Tis no concern of ours. I'll hear no more of this tittle-tattle, thank you. Pray focus on the task at hand. I wish the Minister would be more careful. He takes the sentinel posted outside his chambers with him everywhere. There are times when no one's standing watch there at all.
Aye, it happened just yesterday, in fact. Put me in the right state when I saw the door unguarded. Still, I suppose there's not much to worry about. It's not as if we let thieves wander around the palace, eh?
Well, just between you and me, I blundered and nearly tipped the contents out onto the floor. You should have heard the chiding Allard gave me. I was so furious, you'd think I'd killed someone. Mark my words, it's more to that happens from weeks ago.
You ought to be more prudent. You know the fate of a wagging tongue. 'Tis off for the best that we shut our eyes to the goings-on of the palace. You would do well to remember that.
What business could be so pressing that I must be summoned at this late hour?
I would not presume to know, my lord. However, it must be a highly sensitive matter for the Regent Kin to request a private audience.
Or perhaps the boy has finally grown wise to the benefits my favor can bring. He might just be his mother's puppet, but at least he knows what's good for him.
My lord, if someone were to overhear...
Oh, unwring your hands, you fool! As if anyone in this palace would dare say a word against me. Now, if Wilhelmina calls, tell her to await me in my chambers. I will return presently.
Surely none more important than this. I speak of the ascension of the Sovereign.
Indeed. But that, Your Grace, would be better discussed in the presence of your mother.
Well, well. We meet again. Is this stealthy business becoming a habit of yours?
Oi! Who goes there? Who's there?
Tut, tut. Now, this just won't do. How's a lady supposed to work with all these interruptions?
Oh, 'tis you, Lady Wilhelmina.
Mm-hmm. Do excuse us. We thought to enjoy a little fresh air. Though we had hoped for slightly more privacy, if you catch my meaning.
Apologies, my lady. But might I ask the name of your companion?
Are you sure it would be wise? Such knowledge has been known to cost a man his head.
Understood, my lady. If anyone asks, I shall say I saw naught.
A narrow escape. You should count yourself lucky that he was so easily flustered. Is that all you have to say for yourself? 'Tis sweet of you to mind your manners, but such niceties won't get you far with me. Something tells me this shan't be the last I see of you. Perhaps you'll be good enough to repay me when next we meet. Off you go now. If you wish to speak further, 'twill have to wait. This is neither the time nor the place for it.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. I know this sigil well. 'Tis the crest of the neighboring country of Batal, a land with which Vermin has no official dealings at present. Let me see. It reads, True to our word, we offer you the power of the Godsway. Pray make haste in securing Melv, that all might be made ready ere our plans are set in motion. A meager clue, to be certain. Though, 'tis clear that the Queen Regent conspires with Batal. This does not bode well at all. Though the political situation is stable at present, much blood has been spilled between Vermund and his neighbor in the past. I fear such a partnership would only portend the drawing of more. At any rate, 'twould seem our search has led us to only more questions. Chief among them, what is meant by securing Melv and this Godsway? I will investigate these matters as best I can. In the interim, Your Majesty, should you have time to spare, might you make for Melv? Only once we have gleaned a fragment of the Queen Regent's plot can we begin to thwart it. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. Perchance it will help speed you on your way to Melv.
'Twas a fascinating tale those soldiers outside the palace were discussing.
Regarding the Queen Regent and an important personage, you mean?
Aye. Tell is her ties to this figure from the neighboring country have a romantic tint.
You know, many of our patrons wish to take me for themselves. Yet there is something different about you. How curious. I lived a simpler life once. But one man changed all that. 'Tis no simple matter for a woman to make it this far on her lonesome. Yet after all this time, here I am. Here I am.
My sincerest apologies. Lady Wilhelmina is attending to a patron at present.
Have you given the matter some more thought, Wilhelmina? I would have no other as my personal courtesan. I want you all to myself. When I imagine you in the arms of another, my heart feels apt to rend itself from my breast.
Allard, pray forgive me, but I think 'twould be best for you to leave. We can discuss this matter another time.
But why? We've only just...
I am attending to a burden that all women must bear. I trust I need not elaborate further. I did not take you for the voyeuristic type. Why don't you come in? You have my thanks. Had I not noticed your presence, I might have slain him there and then. 'Tis no jest. You see, everything I've done these past few years has been leading up to this. I am here to kill him. But I cannot simply end his life. Oh no. I must first expose his misdeeds. Only then will I allow myself to grant him the miserable end he deserves. Or so I'd sworn, but I've yet to find a single shred of evidence. Perhaps the time has come to surrender this crusade. You would lend me your aid. But I've done nary a thing to earn it. And recall that I've devoted years of my life to his pursuit, with naught to show for my troubles. If the proof I seek yet exists, 'twill not be so easily uncovered. I suppose there is truly naught I can do. Save deliver him a gruesome demise for all to behold, that is. Still, if you insist upon searching for evidence of his crimes, 3 days I will give you 3 days to find what you seek. I shall wait patiently, though not with bated breath. I don't imagine you'll find aught so long after the fact. And yet, when I look into your eyes, I find myself strangely hopeful. Still, I shan't grant you more than 3 days. You'd best be off.
You wish to expose Allard's misdeeds. I know not whether I can assist you in this, friend. Ah, but of course, Patrick may know aught that could aid you. Go to his manor come nightfall. If you say you are in my employ, you should be allowed entry with no issue.
I've got a good...
Allard. Long have I borne witness to the man's arrogance, and long has it infuriated me. I visited his manor once. I recall that he was rather particular about the placement of his paintings. Mayhap he's concealed aught behind one. 'Tis just the sort of thing one would expect from a man who places so much stock in appearances. Shall I summon him here? You could make use of his absence to steal into his manor and inspect his art collection. Excellent. I will send word to him presently of some urgent matter that requires his intervention. Once you've seen him depart his manor, make your way inside and stay alert. We may not get a second chance at this.
We might make use of this as evidence.
So, you've returned. I confess, I thought you might not. I was ready to settle things myself. Well, did you find what you were looking for? Thank you. I can't believe you found this. All that remains is to end that man's life with my own hands. I've no other tasks for you. This partnership of ours has come to a close. Unless you intend to see this through till the end. You're a curious one, aren't you? But what's just as curious is that I can't bring myself to refuse you. All right, if you're offering your aid, then I'll gladly accept it. Come with me. Allard is in the room to the left. Go in and restrain him for me, would you? Never mind the mask. Consider it a charm of sorts. What are you doing? He's in the left-hand room. Quickly now. Once you've got him restrained, I'll handle the rest.
At last. It feels like an age has passed since... What is this? Who are you?
Don't let him escape.
I do not wait. Get your hands off me, you fiend! Don't you know who I am? Oh, you hang for this impudence!
Oh, Allard. I've always wanted to see you like this.
That voice... Wilhelmina! But why? Why would you...
Do you still fail to recall? Even with this mask staring you in the face. But I suppose for a man such as you, a little murder here or there is hardly worth remembering.
What mockery is this?
In your youth, you slew 2 individuals. The merchant whom you served, and his wife. They had a child, as I am sure you are aware. A newborn babe who was spirited away by her loyal wet nurse.
You mean to tell me you were their child? But how can this be? Your mother, she was a beastren. Surely her child would be one as well.
A fair assumption. But for better or worse, I didn't take after my mother. Save for in one respect. This is for my mother. And this is for my father. The time has come for all your sins to come to light, Allard.
Mr. Allard, has something happened?
We've been noticed. I suppose a scream that hideous was bound to attract some attention. We can't leave the way we came in. Fortunately, there's a window here.
You have done what you set out to do, I trust. Then come, Master.
I think 'twould be best for us to make our escape separately. Should we both make it out of this unfettered, let us meet at the Myrmecolian on the morrow. Till then, be well. Thank you. I finally achieved my purpose here, and I owe it all to you. 'Twould seem the residents of the palace have chosen to treat Allard's untimely passing as an accident. I imagine they deemed it safer not to make a fuss of the incident after perusing the evidence you uncovered for me. Shrewd as a den of foxes. I'll give them that. I truly cannot thank you enough. But I want to try. Just this once, I'll give you something special. I'll grant unto you the sweetest of dreams. I know not what I would do without you. You have my thanks, but 'tis time to say farewell for now. Just know that my bordlery will e'er be your haven, should you have need of it.
So, how goes it? Did you manage to retrieve the Jadeite orb? Ah, splendid. You've my thanks. Before we discuss your reward, however, there is one final matter to which we must attend. You see, in my line of work, trust is paramount, and so we shall go to verify the orb's authenticity together. Come, I trust old Ibrahim's eye most of all. Let us pay a visit to his little scrap store. Follow my lead. Good day, Ibrahim. Would you be so kind as to examine this Jadeite orb? Now, I have a bit of business to attend to while he performs his appraisal. I ask that you await my return here.
What is it? The appraisal's not yet done, and I must needs concentrate. What's this for, then? That shan't get you anywhere, I'm afraid. Sir Everard's paid me quite a sum to handle this appraisal, I don't mind telling you. You're a persistent one, aren't you? Gold's all well and good, but I shan't risk my business for a full pocket. I've my future to think of. Heavens fend. That's more than I can refuse. Very well, I'll do as you bid, but I shan't be making a habit of this.
He ought to be finished by now. Come, let us go see. You have done your title proud, Arisen. This jadeite orb is indeed the genuine article. My partners shall be most relieved to hear of its return. You have certainly earned your reward. I trust you will find it satisfactory. And I do hope you will permit me to call upon you again, should aught arise.
There you are! Pray, tell me, have you found the jadeite orb? Oh, thank you, thank you! Now my freedom is assured. Pray, take this. I know 'tisn't much, but I've naught else to offer. Right, I'd best get going. Sir, though we may ne'er meet again, know that I shall remember this kindness as long as I live. Farewell.
What is it? If you're looking for Gran, she's out. 'Tis dreadful dull round here. How long do they mean to shut me away? All I want is to study magic, but Gran refuses to teach me. If only I had a grimoire or two, then I could study on my own. If you find any grimoires, would you bring them to me? You needn't seek them out. Any you happen to find will do. Still, I'll write up a list of the tomes I'd most like, so you know which ones to keep an eye out for. Let's see. There. All done. Mayhap I was a little overeager, but you needn't bring them all. Just 2 or 3 would be swell. Though I would be thrilled to have the lot. Oh, and Gran is like to confiscate the grimoires should she espy them. Pray hand them to me when she's not at home.
So, we are to scour for the grimoires on Miss Trish's list?
Fulminous shield, eh? 'Tis a bargain, I reckon. I picked it up in Melve after the dragon attacked. Can't speak for its contents, but it certainly looks valuable.
Oh, on the hunt for the grimoire entitled Towering Earth, are you? One moment. Here it is. Towering Earth, the Forsaken Text. You may take it. I can cast no magics myself, after all. Left in my care, 'tis as a pearl before swine. Not to mention, I've already read it.